Let's start with the Green Bay Packers. Again, Ryan Horvath. What a guy. Hey, Horvey.
Hey, what's up? Long time no talk, actually. I haven't been on the podcast. I've watched a couple of the episodes, though. I was on vacation.
Oh, great.
Yeah, caught a couple of them.
Hey, so you're the one.
How about those Brewers, though?
It doesn't matter when I run this. They suck.
Yeah. No. Like, I haven't watched a baseball game in like 3 weeks. I don't even watch my own team. They stink, too. The entire division stinks. I don't care.
Man.
We could air this in a month. I'm kind of rooting for the Reds or the Pirates. Like, not even my own team, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, I got Pittsburgh fever. Why not?
As long as the Cardinals continue to be a disaster and Contreras continues to suck, win-win.
Well, around here, everyone thinks that the Brewers are like going to do exactly what Freems is always talking about, a reverse boycott to save the Brewers. It's like they're not going anywhere.
Well, you never know. I never thought that the A's would go to Las Vegas, you know? That kind of hey, I like you defending the A's though, because growing up, man, I kind of like those A's teams. Like, I love Barry Zito. I love that whole rotation. I
feel bad for Oakland. They lost the Raiders. The Warriors left. Like that counts.
Yeah.
They went across the bay.
Right, exactly.
Oakland's not, no matter what some people think, Oakland is not San Francisco.
No.
It's not like people think it's like St. Paul in Minneapolis. It's not.
No, not at all. Like,
it's a completely different ecosystem.
Yeah, it's sad to see, man. It's sad to see. But I'll say this, though. I mean, I am excited for another excuse to go to Las Vegas. I mean, I'm going to have to go to a couple of those games, obviously.
Oh, yeah. They need, like, slot machines in the chair seats. Is what they need. Or, like, betting. All right, so I want to look at over-unders win totals. And we can start with the Packers because we did win-lost them. Actually, I believe that was my most listened to podcast in all of May, doing win-lossing the Packers with you. So, thank you. Oh yeah, Packer content's king. I can talk to whoever. I can talk to, I can like work hard. All I got to do is be like, hey Nagler, what's your Mount Rushmore? Fucking.
That was the one I watched. I thought that was really good. I like you guys. I like when you guys are together. I do.
Oh, I like Nags too. We had a falling out because our station was cheap and we didn't even. Okay. But I blamed him and that was wrong.
That kind of was wrong.
I was wrong. Yeah.
All right. So,
win total for the Packers. Vegas has them. I think it's been pretty steady at 7.5. I think that. Well, I think Jordan Love's going to be okay. I don't like when but you don't know. There's all these quarterback tiers with their little heads, and Love's always in the last one, but nobody knows. So I would think that, and what I said on the score the last time that I was on that wonderful station.
Yeah.
And I came up with this on the spot, and I'm sure it's been said. But all these other franchises try to microwave their quarterbacks. Like, you be good, go. The Packers put it in the oven, let it cook, get the insides, check the temperature. And then when it's ready, it comes out. I just can't think that the Packers are going to go into 2024. Well, I guess that's next year. 2023, like knowing that Love, like if the Packers knew Love sucked, they wouldn't do this. That's what I think. So I'm going to say over 7.5. Now, will it maybe just be 8? That's part of the game. But I will take over for the Packers.
Yeah, I look at the schedule and it doesn't even really have anything to do with Jordan Love. I wouldn't actually bet the Packers over 7.5 wins just because the defense really let us down last year. But I do think still there's way too much. There's way too much talent. If they're able to stay healthy, man, if they get Rashawn Gary back, for example, you still have Aaron Jones, you still have A.J. Dillon. I do like the wide receiver room a lot. I like the wide receiver room a lot more this year with Reed than the corpse of Sammy Watkins. But what's interesting is, if you look at the different markets, because I have everything up right now, the Packers over 7.5 wins, they're actually taking some money to go over the win total a lot of them slightly juiced -115. There is a book out there right now that has it +100. So I would shop around if you do want to bet them because you're getting a better price. You're not laying, $1.15. I would rather get some plus money there. But I'm with you. I would lean 8-9 wins because the NFC North dumpster fire. The reports out of Chicago, Justin Fields doesn't look good. Chase Claypool, they're disappointed with on and off the field. And they gave up way too much for Chase Claypool. So glad that Green Bay didn't, to be honest with you. I would lean over, but I wouldn't bet over. So I'm with you. I'd go over. I think Jordan Love will be all right as well. I don't think he'll be Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, unfortunately. But I think he'll be a good NFL quarterback. I think it'll take some time. I think there'll be some growing pains, just like there were for Rodgers. Not as many, hopefully, as Favre had. But I worry still about the defense, man. Let's see what the defense looks like. But yeah, I would lean over on Green Bay as well.
On the YouTube stream, look at when we're going to talk about a team, I'm going to put what it is.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
On the Dan Schani YouTube stream. So on YouTube, it says Packers over under 7.5. So that if people are scrolling through, they can see when we're talking about their team.
Here's the thing, man. I want to believe. Everybody thinks I'm just this big Jordan Love hater. I'm not. I could love Aaron Rodgers and still like Jordan Love and root for Jordan Love. Again, I hate that I have to even defend this. I didn't like the Jordan Love pick just because, let's say even I hated Rodgers, man. They weren't getting away from him because he still had, 3 years left on that deal. They had just extended him, and I didn't think he was washed. I thought it was year one.
Well, that was the problem. Extending him was the problem.
Right. Well, year one under LaFleur, I think that was the most we've seen from the LaFleur offense, where Rodgers wore the wristbands. And then I think that summer, that offseason, there was a meeting of the minds, and it was half Rodgers offense, half LaFleur offense with the pre-snap motion. Then last year, that was the Rodgers offense. That's what scares me a little bit about the Jets, man, is Rodgers has full control there. There's a reason why Hackett continues to find work because he's Aaron Rodgers' gopher. He's the Jack Haley to Aaron Rodgers, Dennis Rodman. But way too much time spent on the Packers. But I want to believe. So, I mean, we don't know what any of these teams in the division are, and the Lions are getting way too much hype. So go.
Well, just to finish on the Packers, the exact win totals, I got this from our guy Jimmy Shapiro. The exact win totals for I don't know. I just always get emails.
Yeah.
The exact win totals. It's plus 550 that the Packers win 7 games. It is plus 600 that they win 6 games or 8 games. It is plus 650 that they win 9 games, plus 700 that they win 5 games, and plus 800 that they win 10 games. If you think the Packers are going to not win a game, you can get 70-1 odds on that. If you think they will go undefeated, you can get 300-1 odds on that. So,
I would actually take exactly 7 wins. I think 7 wins sounds about right, man.
It's 5 times the value. So bet 100, win 550.
I could see them losing some games where Jordan Love throws a bad interception. I could see them losing some games where Jordan Love just lights it up, but the defense does what they've that's the other thing, man. You know what I mean? Rodgers had some years where, they had to win to get in and barely even won the NFC North with 10, 11 wins because the defense always stinks. That's why I always have to defend Aaron Rodgers. I think the most overrated thing, really, I hate that I have to do this, but really quick, I never complain or bitch about the wide receivers or the offensive talent that Rodgers played with. All those guys were great, from Greg Jennings and Donald Driver all the way down to Jordy, Devontae. Christian Watson was really good the last 8 weeks of the season. My problem was always the defensive side of the ball. You can't, Brady's better than Rodgers, historically with the rings, but Brady also always had a top 10 scoring defense every Super Bowl year. Rodgers had that once he won a ring. It's so hard for quarterbacks. Peyton Manning in Indianapolis would always lose to Brady.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was a better quarterback than Tom Brady. Yes or no? What do you think on that?
Tom Brady never did anything that I never saw before, except win out of his ass.
I mean, the year he had Moss,
he knows how to win. He knows. Right. I mean, with Peyton Manning, the thing with Tom Brady, he dinked and dunked his way to an NFL 17. We always say he dinked and dunked, but he did.
Here's the thing, right?
Tom Brady had one year where he threw to Randy Moss a shitload. He's just like, chuck it. But other than that, what do you think of with Tom Brady? I think of 11 yards to Edelman and 8 yards to Deion Branch and James White for 15 on a screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's Tom Brady. But he was the best at it.
Right. And the great thing about him was he took what's given to him. He's not Rodgers, like, hey, here's a guy right across the middle, but he's got to find his, he's chucking balls to Devontae. So he took what was given to him. And I feel like the difference between Brady and Peyton Manning was like Peyton Manning lived for football. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't beat Florida. Like, remember the Tennessee fans hated him for a while. Didn't hate him, but like they thought he was a choke artist because he could never beat Florida when he was there. And then in the NFL, like Sparky, like when we do the podcast, always calls him a choke artist. And I'm like, okay, like he's one of 11. Yeah, Peyton Manning. But like, I think the thing was, man, he would overstudy. I mean, he was a genius, at calling his own plays and, audibles and changing things at the line of scrimmage, reading a defense. I don't think there's anybody better than Peyton. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. But I think the difference is Brady's always been playing with house money. Like we thought maybe he was going to be a minor league catcher. He was splitting time with Drew Henson, we have to remember, at Michigan, goes in, the 7th round or wherever the fuck. We've all seen the combine videos. He's just been playing with house money his entire career. And he's just a cool ass dude where he's at the end of these games, like early on in his career, whatever. And he got those rings because they kicked field goals and they had good defenses. And then, he just had this crazy confidence. Whereas like Peyton, like one thing goes wrong and he would fall apart. Rodgers, like the same thing. I think that's always been the difference. Like that's what Joe Burrow reminds me of right now, and that's why he always wins. He's just like cool, calm, collect. Or like some of these guys, like you watch Dak.
Like Barr would throw a pick and he'd forget about it by the time he was off the field.
Well, the problem was, though, then he'd go out and throw another one and another one because he'd be like, oh, I'll get him the next time. But yeah, I thought that was always the difference. Like Brady, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, they were just like cool ass dudes, calm under pressure. Some guys, they can't handle the pressure. I don't know that that's Rodgers, though. I mean, yeah, the last couple of years it was.
So I'm going to go over on the Packers.
Yeah, over on the Packers, yeah.
You like them at 7 wins?
I kind of like that price. I think that's a good bet. I mean, I wouldn't bet that, though. See, I'm not – every year I bet the Packers to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to do that this year for the first time ever in my life, but I'm not going to be rooting against them. I'm rooting for my Packers-Jets Super Bowl, and then it ends in a tie because aliens blow up the world.
That'd be good. The Chicago Bears come in also at 7.5. And I mean, if you just look at the schedule, now a lot of this is going to depend on Justin Fields too. I lost their schedule with a guy, and all of a sudden I was at 10 wins for the Bears. I think Bears over under 7.5. I think the over is the lock of the year.
On the Bears?
Chicago Bears.
Yeah, man. I bet
their schedule is dog shit. The rest of this division is bad.
Yeah.
I like the Bears over 7.5. I'm going to play that today.
Yeah, I played them to win the NFC North. Just the price was ridiculous.
Some cheese.
Yeah. I mean, okay, when I did that though, I was higher on Justin Fields than a lot of people, like a lot of Packers fans. The Bears fans think he's some of them think he's like the next coming of Christ, but like, the reports are bad.
Which, to be fair, he could be. I mean, the next coming of, we don't know.
The reports are bad, but also I don't really care. Like when guys are in shorts and half pads, because like we overreact to crap every single season, and I'm not there, So I'm sure like Adam Hogan, those guys. I mean, they're there every day. I respect what they're seeing, but I mean, I remember hearing that Jamar Chase couldn't catch an NFL football. You know what I mean? Like we always do this crap. When they put on the pads, I know Justin Fields is a good football player. I just don't know that he's a good quarterback. But I'm with you, man. I think the defense will be better. I really like the pickups that they made in the offseason. I don't like Chase Claypool. Maybe they end up moving him. But I like Mooney enough if he doesn't have to be your number one, right? So, yeah, I'm with you. I'd go over on the Bears. Hate to say it. Feel like a traitor, but yeah.
I feel like with everything that's coming out and all the moves that they're doing, Vikings over under 8.5. That's got to. How's that not dropped yet?
I bet under.
They are rebuilding. They are rebuilding
Yeah, dude.
Whatever, nobody likes to say that word anymore, but they are rebuilding, although they have Kirk Cousins. So they're doing what if the Packers were like the team they have now and Aaron Rodgers. Like everybody's super young, but then you still have the quarterback. The problem is the Vikings are going to rebuild all around Kirk, and then Kirk's not going to be there. And then they're going to have to decide, well, do we bring in a quarterback like Rodgers? Or do we draft a guy? I mean, what do you do? It's just it's just weird. It's weird that the Vikings, this division should be theirs.
Yeah.
But now they're cutting and trading guys. And I think what they're looking at is, okay, we might win the division. We're not going to the Super Bowl. So if all you other teams, the problem is this division in a couple of years, like it stinks, it could be really good. If the Vikings figure it out and find a guy, if Justin Fields is the guy, if Jordan Love's the guy, well, it could be the best this division's been since we gone down to the north, since we were no longer the Central.
Yeah,
so
dude.
It could be, but for this year, I mean, the Vikings, they're not 8.5 seems like that's high with everything that's happened.
Dude, they have Dean Lowry starting for them.
Yeah. So,
I mean, like, I look at the defensive side of the ball. They're starting Andrew Booth this year. Harrison Smith's still there. Evans is their other corner. Byron Murphy. Yeah, I mean, if I'm a Vikings fan, I kind of just want to rip the Band-Aid off. I don't know that you could get anything for Kirk Cousins. This is Kirk's last year in Minnesota.
Well, I still think Kirk for Trey Lance is a trade that benefits both sides.
They do have Jordan Addison. No, I think what you do, man, if I'm a Vikings fan,
Purdy's going to suck, okay?
Yeah, I'm with you. I want Sam Darnold to win that job more than I want error. Like I need Sam Darnold to win that job and win like 14 games, man, and just prove how like terrible Adam Gase and all those douchebags that they can. I like Sam Darnold. He's went through so much shit.
Wow.
I mean,
who knew?
I like him. I think I like him more than Brock Purdy, and I know that I like him more than Trey Lance. I don't think Trey Lance is any good. But if I'm Minnesota, I just want to blow. Like if I'm any of these teams, I just want to blow because next year, if you need a quarterback, is the year to get a quarterback.
I just want to blow.
Caleb Williams is going to be awesome, and Drake May is going to be awesome. And then there's a couple other guys. I don't know like what Pratt is, and but somebody else will emerge. Maybe Tyler Van Dyke bounces back from Miami.
TVD.
But I want, TVD. I'd want to blow this year. I'd want to suck really bad. I'm going under on the Vikings. The defense sucks. They got worse. I do like Jordan Addison. I love, Jefferson, but I don't think that's enough. So under on the Vikings.
You want to blow this year. You want to suck really bad.
Yep.
Your words.
Yeah. I want to. Yeah.
Lions are over under 9.5.
Yeah, that's too many wins.
The problem is, it's my favorite stat. The Buccaneers have won this division more recently than the Lions.
Yeah.
Like this could not be presented better for Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody was going to give them a benefit. Like Detroit, all they need to do for the league is just be good on Thanksgiving so we don't have to like kick them off of Thanksgiving. That's all they need to do. Can they take on the pressure? Because now there's going to be a little pressure. There's going to be expectations.
Yeah.
So they ain't winning 9.5 games.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't.
Who's winning this division?
The Bears. The Packers.
With what, 7 wins?
I mean, the Lions may win this division with 9 wins. I couldn't go over 9.5. They should win 10, 11 games. I mean, you look at the final 8 weeks of the season, the DVOA numbers, all the nerd stats. They were one of the best, if not the second or third best team in the NFC. I can't put my money in Jared Goff, Dan Campbell.
Jared Goff been to the Super Bowl, scored 3 points.
Really, anybody on that defense other than Hutchinson. I couldn't do it, man. I'm going to go under on the Lions. I think they're going to let everybody down. I did bet them. I bet the shit out of them week 1 against the Chiefs, though, when it was at 7. It's at 6.5 right now. I'd want the full touchdown, but, I think they'll be all right. But They should win 10 games. I couldn't bet that, though. I'm going to go under.
I'm taking the over-under graphic off of the YouTube. I did it for the North. I don't want to do it for any other division. It's actually kind of a lot of tedious work.
Yeah.
So,
plus there's like a lot of people, that probably just listen to the podcast. So it seems like,
Well, I mean, my hope is that like some random Titans fan is like, AMC sells over-unders? They'll talk, listen, but not that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all about the SEO.
Right? I'm really trying to jack up those YouTube numbers.
Yeah.
So I found like old videos of me and Freems that I'm posting every week.
You should start showing a little bit more skin, maybe.
Should I?
For the lady audience, yeah.
I can do should I do the NFC East shirtless?
There you go. Yeah. Now we're talking. There's the ratings. Yeah. Show a little skin. Looking good. You look like you've been hitting the gym a little bit.
I look like I stopped shaving halfway through my chest.
Dude, is there anything worse than emails?
Yeah. Trying to lose weight at age 39.
You should just do what I told you to do. Just do the fasting. You have one meal a day.
I tried too fucking hard. I hated it.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.